and then we'll try to get people, and then we'll try to get started like closest to 7 as we can.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Okay, letting people in.
Oh,
Here we go. People are coming in.
ah!
Da, 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 da. Hello, Susan.
Hi.
Hi. So good to see you.
Hello.
Hi, Amber.
How you guys doing?
Good, you?
Tired?
Yeah, me too. It's my bedtime now. It's like 9 o'clock.
Sally and Michelle
Hello. Hello,
and the
hello.
puppy.
There. Where are you, Pam?
I'm in Northern Ontario, so I'm out in
Oh,
my writing burrow in the backyard, my little trailer. Da, 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 da.
if we were to sing you if we were to sing you lullabies, it wouldn't really work well.
Yeah, no, because then I would fall asleep. I just want you to know, I'll say this again when more people get here, but I am recording this for RaeAnne, so just so you know you're being recorded. I don't want to surprise anybody with a recording.
Like I saw the little
Um,
dot when I signed it, when
Yeah,
I brought the window up, so I figured.
good, good, good. I know it tells you. Oh, there's
so,
more.
Pam,
Yes.
Amber was my roommate when I lived in Melville.
Oh,
She's
Oh,
actually referenced in the book. She's Ruby.
Ruby, you're the Ruby character.
yeah,
Hello. Good
Ruby
to meet
right
you.
here.
So good to meet you
It's a
in
pleasure
Hi,
to meet you too.
Margaret.
person. Yeah. Ah, all right. Hello, hello, Marg. Welcome, welcome. We'll just have a few more minutes. I will start right at the top of the hour and we'll honor your time. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. It's so exciting. It's always exciting to see a
Yeah,
new book coming into the world. I know it's been out for a little while, but it's still like brand new book.
yeah.
All right, so Doreen's coming in. I realize I'm probably gonna have to keep my eye on the waiting room because I have to let people in as they arrive, which I
Yeah.
will do. uh,
Hi, Auntie Doreen.
Hi, Doreen. Welcome, welcome. People come a couple more minutes. Ooh. Everybody's got a little comfy place to sit and a cup of tea, maybe.
Cold tea here. It's very hot today.
Is it? Yeah. It got hot and muggy here today too, but you know what? We're lucky because there's all the fires, well, you guys know, so many fires in the north. And but we've had so much rain that we're really good. We have smoke like you guys probably do. I know there's been lots of smoke in Regina, but
Today the smoke's not
so
bad.
far where we are, everything's sopping wet. And today muggy because it's so hot. Yeah. But I'll take it. I'll take it
Oh,
over 30
Uh,
below.
Never mind that. I was just trying to set my headphones to wireless, and it wasn't quite
It's
cooperating.
only temporary.
Okay, you got them working now, Amber?
Yeah, I was just trying to switch them over to wireless because
Oh,
I'm using them wired, and these are a fancy headset. Is all.
all right. Well, I'm glad you got them set.
hi,
Oh,
Mark.
I just set them back to wired.
wired is good, right? Whoops, what
Absolutely.
did I do? I
Just
just did
because
something.
I haven't had a chance to have supper yet, so I was just trying to get some stuff while I get my supper going.
Right. All right. Okay, well,
Thankfully, I can mute this no problem.
good. Okay, I think maybe I'll start. There's still a little bit of time, but I'll start with my
Yeah,
preamble and I'll let more people in as they arrive. I hope that's okay.
yeah.
So, welcome. Yes, welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here tonight. And we are here together to celebrate and learn from my beautiful friend, RaeAnne Ellert, as she shares some readings from her new book, RaeAmblings. And some of you may have heard some of this already, but I hope this will be a new show for those of you who've seen some other readings from RaeAnne. So just for those of you who are meeting RaeAnne for the first time, if there's anyone here like that, she grew up in Melfort, Saskatchewan.
Melville,
Melville. Why
Melville.
do I have Melfort? Oh my God. Melville. Spell check. Got me. I typed it wrong and it changed it. Thank you. She grew up in Melville, Saskatchewan, and moved to Regina during the COVID epidemic. And that's where I met her. I'm Pam Bustin, your host for the evening. And I met RaeAnne in 2022, I believe, when I was the writer in residence for the Regina Public Library. And she came in, I think I started mid September, and she wrote me in October and came in right away in November. Oh, someone else coming in. Dylan's coming in. Yeah, she came in with a burning desire to write a book, and she had some chapters already written, and she brought them in, and we began to work together. And now here we are. And she has a published memoir, and I'm thrilled to be hosting this event for
Ah.
you tonight, RaeAnne. So, just so you know how the evening will go, RaeAnne has chosen 4 pieces from throughout the book that she's going to share with you. And we will have time at the end for your questions. But if something burning pops into your mind while she's reading a certain section, feel free to put it in the chat and I'll monitor the chat, okay, RaeAnne? And I'll gather up those questions for you so you don't have to worry about that. And I'll make sure we get all our questions answered at the end. And yeah, it's just such an honor for you to come here on a Friday night and spend some time with RaeAnne and with myself. So I'm going to do a quick little land acknowledgement. I got distracted because we all started talking before I started. I usually do this before I even do anything. RaeAnne knows, but just so you know where we are, I am here in the Writing Borough on Treaty 9 territory on the shores of the Kipsquashing River in northern Ontario. So this is the traditional lands of the Midchief Pee, the Anishinaabe, and the Cree. And RaeAnne, as I mentioned, is joining us from my hometown, Regina, Saskatchewan, located on Treaty 4 territory. And that's the original lands of the Cree, Ojibwa, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and the home of the Métis Nation. So, as always, we take a moment to just thank the original peoples of our areas for the great care they take of our land and waters, and we join them in tending our lands and all of our relationships together. So I'm so glad to be here with you and sharing this beautiful book with you. Okay, so let's get her going. And RaeAnne, just before we start, just for people who, yeah, maybe haven't attended any of your other readings so far, how about a little quick bit before you do your first reading on why you wanted to write this book and how it feels to have done it?
So, um, so the reason I wrote it is because there isn't a lot of active portrayals of people living with disabilities. And okay, before I continue, just can everyone make sure they're muted, please? Thank you. Uh, so the reason I wrote the book uh, was because there aren't a lot of active portrayals of people with disabilities in the media, especially people like myself. Um, and unfortunately, there's a lot of misconceptions because of that. And uh, yeah, and it more or less started off as a joke between myself and a friend. We were we were watching something on TV, and then we started talking about the lack of accurate portrayals of people with disabilities in the media, and and then my and then uh and then my friend said that I should make that I should um that I should write a book about it. And I mean, at the time it was a joke because she's silly to me. And yeah, and I just kind of just started writing it. Some of it is actually stuff from uh either older stories that stuff that I had written years ago and just refreshed so it would fit in here. There's some stuff from another story I came very close to publishing, but it just never worked out. But yeah, it's all come together to this. It's still somewhat surreal to me to be sitting here with my book, something I wrote. I've always been really interested in writing, and it's something I've always used, even if for a while I had to use it in secret. But uh, anyways, next question.
I think we could dive right into your first section. Tell us where it is in the book that you're reading from, so I know.
So yes, so the first thing I'm going to read is a um, is actually the first chapter. It's not the prologue, it's the first chapter. And it takes place when I was about 6 months old. My parents took me to, or my parents knew that there was something, not right about, I, or that I wasn't hitting my milestones when I should have been. And so they're trying to figure out what disability I have. And then there's another short story that takes place 4 years later with another specialist trying to figure me out. Chapter 1, Building Blocks of Resilience. The pediatrician's exam room bursts with colors. Cheerful depictions of animals adorn the walls, attempting to weave an air of whimsy. I'm nestled on Dad's lap, unable to resist the pull of curiosity. My tiny fingers reach for the colorful pictures. I'm filled with wonder. Even the vibrant surroundings can't mask the tension filling the air. Restless, I wiggle in Dad's lap. My baby babbles are a subtle expression of the unease lingering in the room. Mom's face reveals concern and curiosity when she speaks about what's weighing on her mind. I wonder what the doctor will say. RaeAnne isn't hitting her milestones on time. Dad, attempted to be the reassuring anchor, responds, but she is hitting her milestones. Everything will be fine. She's only 6 months old. His words, so comforting, fail to dispel the subtle worry etched on their faces. The door creaks open, breaking the tension. Dr. Leon, the pediatrician, enters with a warm smile. Hi, how are you? He greets us, closing the door with a gentle thud. Good, you? Dad mirrors the doctor's friendly tone. I'm good, settled. Dr. Leon settles at his desk, opening my file. How is RaeAnne doing? I'm okay, okay, Mom says she's a happy little girl. Sensing the shift in focus, Dad lifts me and gently places me on the crisp white exam table. Dr. Leon stands and walks to me, carefully he carefully examines me, noting everything he sees. The room feels hushed as Mom approaches the delicate topic. Did you figure anything out? Yes, yes, he answers, his voice gentle. I believe RaeAnne has Down syndrome. A heavy silence streaks the room. Mom and Dad exchange glances. Oblivious to the weight of the moment, I gaze at the doctor as Dad picks me up. Mom grappling with the diagnosis voices her thoughts. I guess it's possible. She does have almond-shaped eyes. Dr. Leon removes papers from his file. Here's some information, he says, handing them to Mom. She takes them, her expression a mix of gratitude and uncertainty. Thanks. As Dr. Leon wishes us a good day and leaves, Mom and Dad sit to absorb the diagnosis. 4 years later, I play with blocks in the corner while Mom and Dad talk to the specialist I just spent the last few hours with. I don't think RaeAnne will progress farther than this. She will need to be put in special schools and have 24-hour care. the specialist says. With their mouths wide open, Mom and Dad look at each other, then back to the specialist. Can you see into the future? Mom starts. Yeah, she's reaching her milestones later than most kids, but she's still reaching them. Dad speaks up. We live with her. You just spent a few hours with her. The specialist sighs and hands papers and pamphlets to Mom and Dad. I see children like RaeAnne all the time, and they never integrate into society like you and me.
Oh, thanks, RaeAnne. I love your parents, man. They are so good to have, just to have taken care and, gotten you to the specialists they could and they did, and
Yeah.
just carrying on and bringing you up to become this independent woman that you have become. And it's amazing. I just put in the chat, we are going to wait and hold questions from everyone till the end. But if something comes up to you, like right after a reading or as she's reading, as RaeAnne's reading, please feel free to put it in the chat and I'll round them up at the end. So if you're afraid you're going to lose your question, you can hold on to it. All right. Yeah. So thank
Um,
you. Go ahead, RaeAnne. Yeah.
so something I should have said to start with is that because July is Disability Pride Month, all the chapters I'm going to read tonight all have to do with disability, and and some of the things that come with it, and uh, some of the good things and some of the not good things that come with it.
Yes. And I want to remind people, yeah, who did join later, Zoom should have told you, but just so you know, we are recording this for RaeAnne. So, and she may want to share it on YouTube and stuff like that. Usually when my Zoom records, it just records the one person who's talking. So you probably won't be on camera all the time. But if you feel you need to turn your camera off, because it will go on YouTube, feel free to do that, just so you know. All right. All right. So let's go into the next section. What's up next for us, RaeAnne?
So the next one is actually this is another short story from another chapter. This is later on in the book, um, and this is about a support worker, one of many who did not treat me very well, and it's some of the I mean, if I had the time, I would have read like everything uh about the hard parts about being in a day program, especially when they try to conform you what they think is appropriate in society. Um, but yeah, this so this takes place would have been late 2013. But yeah, I'll uh now, RaeAnne, we have to go over some behavioral rules, Ariel says as we find a parking spot. We are at the Anne Portneuf Theatre in Yorkton to see Jimmy Rankin. This is the first time I've seen him play in 10 years. During the show, your phone stays turned off. You can clap and cheer between songs, but no noise otherwise. No singing along either. I don't want you to embarrass me. Okay, I begrudgingly agree. Please don't advertise that you're my support worker. That's all I ask. Yep, I can do that. We get out of the car and she hands me my ticket. Once we're inside, there's a short line up by the theater doors. Are you excited? She asks in her overly excited tone. Yes, of course. Excuse me, ma'am, Ariel says to the lady standing before us. Yeah, the lady responds, turning back at us. I love your Pink Floyd shirt. I'm a huge fan myself. Oh, thank you. I've seen them 3 times. Ariel and the lady keep talking, and I tune out most of the conversation until I hear Ariel say, I'm a support worker here with one of my clients. RaeAnne is a new Jimmy Rankin fan, and this is her first time seeing him. How fucking dare you? I think. I, I speak up. Actually, this is my second time. I saw him like 10 years ago at the Yorkton exhibition. Ariel moves closer to my ear and whispers, "One more comment like that, and we're going home." She smiles and looks back at the lady. "I've been introduced to RaeAnne to the music of the Rankin family. I want to tell the lady that Ariel is full of doggy too, and that I've been a huge fan of the Rankins since my early teens. Also, I'm familiar with Jimmy's music. I want, I want to, I want to say all of that, but of course I stay silent. I don't want to upset Ariel." Soon the doors open and we enter. "Ariel or RaeAnne, do you want to sit up front?" "Yes," I smile. We find two seats in the front row. I pull my phone out of my purse and turn the sound off. I take that thing out again and I'll be taking it away," Ariel demands. I'm I'm just making sure my ringer is off," I sheepishly say as I put the phone back in my purse. The show starts. Jimmy Rankin and his band play a few of his old songs along with some Rankin family favorites. I do my best to sit quietly, but without thinking about it, I begin to mouth along with the words and bounce in my seat. Ariel grabs my arm, looking at me over her glasses. This is never a good thing. "Stop or we are leaving," she hisses. Ashamed, I play with my fingers for the rest of the concert. After the show, I tell Ariel I want to get the CD I bought signed. "Okay, I'll go to the car and wait for you. Remember, no fangirling. Just say your name and that you enjoyed the show." Hiding how insulted I feel, I nod and smile. Ariel goes outside and I stand in line. Jimmy sits beside the merchandise table and begins to sign autographs. A couple of people cut in line in front of me. I'm annoyed and about to say something. "You in the purple jacket, please come," Jimmy says. I look down at my jacket and realize he's talking about me. With a smile, I walk to him and open the CD case for him to sign. "What is your name?" "RaeAnne, RaE capital ANNE," I say as he signs his name underneath mine. "I first saw you like 11 years ago at the Orton exhibition." Jimmy smiles. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess it's been that long since I've played it." He gives the CD case back to me. "May I get my picture taken with you?" "Why would you ask that? Ariel would be pissed, I think." "Of course," Jimmy says as he waves his bandmate over. I stand beside Jimmy and smile. His bandmate takes the picture on my phone. "Thank you," I say and leave. I go outside to Ariel's car. Buckling my seatbelt, she asks for the CD so we can listen to it on the way back to Melville. "You didn't bother him by asking for a picture, did you?" she asks. My cheeks get warm as I look at my phone. Ariel sighs heavily. I'll have I'll have to heavily supervise you next time. I thought you knew better."
Grr, grr.
I saw that face too,
I know.
Pam.
Sorry. I was trying to be all like this, but I'm all, "Grr." Oh, you know how much I really love the clarity that you bring to us with when you give us your inner thoughts, right? And then what you actually say out loud, right? Because you've learned, right? Like, okay, I have to be good
Yeah,
or I won't get to go to the show. So, I just love the way that you bring us your whole self, right? The inner thoughts and then the outer polite way of speaking to someone who maybe doesn't deserve to be politely spoken to. But that's just my opinion, you know.
yeah. I guess I should have noticed. Um, Michelle and Sally are actually they were actually two of my support. Sally's actually mentioned in the book. She's Sandy in the book,
Hello.
um, but uh, but uh, but they were both great. Neither of them lasted very long thereafter. Well, Sally
And
did.
I mean, and there's that good thing too, right? You had some really great people and still have some great people. And but then there's also the ones that, aren't aren't so great. And we need to know that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I know Michelle was joking with me that that uh that now she has a hit list.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking names. Yeah. No kidding, eh? I hear you. Oh, right on. Okay. And yeah, the next piece that you're going to read, I believe, is about finally when you do finally get the proper diagnosis, right? Which was
Yeah,
such a huge moment for you and for the whole family, right? So yeah, I'm
yeah,
really sorry. I'll just let you introduce it and
yeah.
read the piece. Go ahead.
Okay. So yes, as Pam said, this is the chapter when I finally do get diagnosed. Um, and I was about 15 years old. Uh, I gaze out of the car window in awe of a different city. It's June and I'm happy to miss school, even though it isn't for anything exciting. Years after the idea was suggested, I finally get in to see a genetic specialist in Saskatoon. I have my headphones on, listening to Jimmy Rankin. Mom turns her head to get my attention. I remove my headset. How are you feeling about this? She asks. I say, it's just another appointment to you, isn't it? She responds. I nod to her. I've been, um, I've been to so many specialists that all it means to me is a day off from school and a trip to Saskatoon. Mom sighs, her worry line steepening. Maybe we'll finally get some answers, Dad says. I sigh heavily, not putting much trust in anything. I hope so, I respond, looking out the car window, watching the cityscape pass by. Tall buildings, bustling streets, and people going about their lives. It all seems so distant and disconnected from the constant struggle of my life. We arrive at the Royal University Hospital, and I can't shake the feeling of deja vu. The same old sterile smell, blank walls, and uncomfortable waiting room chairs. I check at the front desk and say my name, and the receptionist confirms my appointment time with a polite smile. Sitting in the waiting room, I glance around at the other patients. Each has their own story and battles. Some look hopeful, while others seem resigned to the routine of it all. The uh, I wonder where I fit into this mosaic of illness and uncertainty. Finally, my name is called, and I stand, ex- exchanging a glance with Mom and Dad. They offer their ever reassuring smiles. We follow the nurse down the unfamiliar hallway to yet another examination room. A few moments later, the genetic specialist enters. He's a middle-aged man with dark brown hair and a short beard. His glasses sit on the tip of his nose, and he looks at his notes. RaeAnne Ellert, he asks. Yes, my parents say. I nod. Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Coley. I'm the genetic specialist, he says, closing the door and sitting on a chair across from us. Uh, oh, oh. Since this is a teaching hospital, a couple of students will be joining us. There's a knock at the door. Come in, he says, as two more people enter. We go through the usual name, address, birth date, etc. This time I'm unsuccessful. Uh, this time I'm successful at speaking without freezing, though I still stutter. Now the important stuff. Dr. Coley starts. Did RaeAnne have problems at birth? Uh, yeah, or I look at Mom and Dad to answer the question. Yes, she was born on a Friday the 13th, Dad jokes. Dr. Coley closes his notebook. Well, there's the diagnosis, he laughs, and we all join in. He opens his book again, and when we finish laughing. Mom speaks. I was sent to a specialist in Moose Jaw about 2 weeks before she was born. RaeAnne was in the breech position on a large baby, or so the test said. The specialist assured us that she could be born in a Assiniboia. When I went into labor 2 weeks later, She came very fast, and the doctor made it just in time to catch her. The umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, and she had aspirated a bowel movement. It felt like an eternity before she started to cry. I watched the doctor and the students write notes as Dad takes over from him. We almost lost RaeAnne several months later when she caught a severe respiratory infection. She was rushed to Moose Jaw and had to spend several nights in an oxygen tent. The doctor finishes writing and looks up at my parents. At what age did she know she first had difficulties? Her auntie pointed it out at a month old. Dad says she wasn't hitting her milestones when she was supposed to, though she eventually hit all of them. It takes her longer than average to do things is the main issue. Also, she can't multitask. On the other hand, some things come quickly for her. She got her first tooth early, had all her adult teeth by 8, had 3 wisdom teeth at 12. Also, she started puberty early at about 8 years old. And what about the speech? Has she always stuttered? Mom says no. RaeAnne spoke perfectly fine until last fall. She lost the ability overnight. She is trying hard to speak again, but it's been a challenge. And of course, no one has any answers. She's still high functioning otherwise. Is she in therapy for the speech? No, Dad says. We've been encouraging her to speak, but being patient about it when she obviously can't in that moment. RaeAnne has about, I'd say, 80% of her speech back. Dr. Coley asked more about me, my parents, my brothers, and our family history. Then he takes Mom and me to another room where he checks my arms and legs. He also takes pictures of my face and records my height and weight. When we return to the first exam room, the doctor sits in his chair and reviews the notes. I'm going to order some blood work to rule out any genetic mutation. If that comes back negative, we can look at the possibility of brain damage from lack of oxygen. He hands me a blood requisition form and sends us on our way. Before we leave the hospital, we stop by the lab to get the blood work done. Dr. Coley and his team discover something unusual in my blood work, something requiring more samples from me and my parents. The anticipation reaches its peak when my parents travel to Saskatoon for the follow-up appointment. In the news they bring back is that I have a rare genetic mutation, a glimpse in the intricate code that makes me who I am. As the details unfold, I learn that on chromosome 10, a tiny segment of my DNA made a copy of itself and flipped upside down, then continued on as if nothing happened. It's a minor error, but it holds the power to shape my existence, causing a cascade of challenges that will last a lifetime. I also learned that I'm the only high functioning case Dr. Foley has ever encountered. Others with the same mutation require constant round the clock care. It's a unique anomaly, a quirk of fate that sets me apart from this intricate genetic puzzle. The revelation stirs a whirlwind of emotions within me. Questions surface. How different would my life have been if this genetic mutation was identified at birth or earlier? The specialist hints at a grim prognosis in most cases. Would my parents have pushed me as hard as they did, knowing the challenges ahead? As I grapple with the implications of this newfound knowledge, the realization dawns that I'm an exception to the expected outcome. My existence defies the odds, and the path ahead remains uncertain yet undeniably unique. And present day RaeAnne here with more information. Since then, I've reached out to the clinic to ask for more information for my book. My mutation is called duplication 10p. I'm not gonna, it's a bunch of letters and numbers. For anyone wanting to look it up, I have included more information and then.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not saying it. I can't remember how to say it either. I think I learned how to say it, but it's long. Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that piece with us. I know it was a hard one to write, and I want to circle back to the fate, like the pieces that were difficult to face, and they weren't always the ones you might expect them to be emotionally difficult, right? But we can
Yeah.
talk about that at the end, right? What came up and how you dealt with it, and what an amazing feat it has been to be able to write this book for you and for us all to read and share it with us. All right, so we have one more reading, and then we're going to open it to questions. So I will let you introduce this piece, RaeAnne.
Okay, so this is a little bit more recent. This was last year or the year before. Anyways, I got the opportunity to take part in a study about the um, quality of life for people with disabilities and what makes it a good quality of life and what makes it a bad quality of life. It was very interesting when we got to do I didn't talk about the results, but it was very, very interesting to see what everybody else said. Uh, we had to draw pictures on these cards and with some good and some bad. So that's what this is about. I get uh, I get the opportunity to participate in a study about the quality of life for people with disabilities. I draw pictures to show the good things and the bad things about living with my disability. The lady running the study sits across from me. Okay, RaeAnne, we will start with the bad pile. She says, looking at my drawings. Can you explain this one? It looks like the person is having a hard time finding work. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to find suitable work. I can't work full time, nor do real physical work. I also need extra time to get things done on top of having trouble with multitasking. The programs I've tried so far just haven't suited my needs. Then, uh, yeah, I'm finding it's one of the common things people experience. What about what about this picture? I wish assistants gave more money to live on. I'm not sure how they expect that $1,200 a month is enough to live on. And this picture, it doesn't happen much anymore, but the unwanted and forced help is annoying. When I lived in Melville, I had to deal with a lot of people. I had to deal with people who I didn't even really know approaching and helping me when I didn't need help. One time I was at a store and someone came and took my wallet out of my hands and started to count the money out loud. The cashier stood up for me. She told them to leave me alone and that I knew what I was doing. Also, the constant questions of where is your support worker every time I was out in public got old real fast. And this last picture, I look at the picture I've drawn. The disability system tries to conform us into their idea of fitting into society. I've dealt with that. I dealt with that a lot when I lived in Melville. An example I can give is I was pressured to like things I didn't. Like there was something wrong with the music I liked or whatever. And when they wanted me to dress and wear my hair in ways I didn't like. I also had a support worker who pressured me into finding a romantic partner because to her it wasn't normal to not be interested in romance and sex. The lady running the study nods. I feel she understands me or at least hears what I'm saying. She puts the pile of unfinished, or she puts the pile of, she puts the pile we finished aside. So now we're going to start on the good things. Who is this? This is my current support worker. I've had a lot of bad support workers, some horrible ones, in fact. In truth, I've had a few good ones and even fewer great ones. She is one of the great ones. I have no idea what I'll do when she isn't working with me anymore. What is so great about her? She respects my boundaries and never treats me like a child. She supports me but doesn't try to change who I am. And these people, She lays out two pictures side by side. I point to the first picture. This is my family. So once on the other card are my friends. I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. We go through the last few cards. Then she asks about my life in a day program compared to now. Well, the day program is kind of a mixed bag. I find the system as a whole to be very cookie cutter. If you don't fit in, then there's no help for you. For the first few years, one of the main people at the agency I was in was mentally and emotionally abusive. As I said before, the bad and horrible support workers, there outweigh the good and great ones. I'm still dealing with self-esteem issues that I picked up from them, but it's getting easier to think better about myself. I think day programs like that should be reformed with more of an emphasis being out in the community and learning work skills. I made $10 a day, and uh, oh, I made $10 a day, and that's if I had a good day. If we weren't good, we'd lost our pay for the day. They also punished us for every little infraction to the rules. Every infraction. they also punished us for every little infraction of the rules they put on us. Some rules made sense, others just seemed to be made to keep us miserable. How are things for you now that you're living on your own? Better. It's been a process to learn to make my own decisions and be okay with that. And to learn that no one will punish me for listening to the type of music I like or wearing my hair how I like. For instance, I've also been learning for myself what I can and can't do, finding my limitations for myself instead of having someone else decide for me. It's been great to have more freedom. On the downside, I wish I could find suitable works, and the systems in place make it hard. I can be more independent now that I live in the city, especially since I don't need to rely on friends and family to get around like I do in Melville. The transit system isn't great, but I can get to where I need to go. She thanks me for my time and tells me there'll be a email about the pizza party.
Oh, thank you so much. I am going to ask everyone to unmute right now, just so we can give you a round of applause. If you will unmute. Thank you so much, RaeAnne. Doesn't really work when we all try to clap at once, but this is us all clapping at once.
That was really excellent, Rain. Really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So good and so much to read. So thank you for like you did really great. It was good. It was
Who
such
put all
good
these words
pieces.
in this book?
You
Who put
chose
all
such
these words in these books?
all these words. So many words in this book. You chose really well the pieces too. It was really, really good. So just before I toss it open, yeah, I'm glad you circled back with that one about the things like the the way you were made to feel about yourself, like about how you dressed and about your hair and that sort of thing with the workers, because that was there was many things in this that broke my heart, but that was one of the biggest things. So maybe you could just say a little more about that. Like why, we know why, but why would you say that these workers were trying to push this certain way of looking and behaving, and even what kind of music you could listen to? Why do you think they thought that was their job?
Well, I think, and to be honest, I've had some conversations with Sally about this. Um, that, uh, and I mean, I kind of realized it for myself after I left that the staff just do what they're told. Some of them may not even agree with what's being addressed or what's being um and I mean I and to be honest, I did have some support workers, mainly Ariel. I'm not going to say what her real name is, but she she was I think with her a lot of it was control. Uh, but but I mean I still there's times where I still go through where I'll be where and it's weird. It's kind of like a just like a passing thought. But like for example, like for um I mean, even though now that I'm older, I do like to try to dress a little bit more presentable when I'm out. But but I mean, uh, and um, and then also and then also uh, and then like with the music, like um, I was I still have a pat. I like even though I do have a great support. Actually this my support worker is out right now because she had surgery, so I have a temporary one, and my temporary one is also great. Um, but but like not to have somebody go to I still have that passing thought of, oh, they're gonna get mad at me because of the music I'm listening to. And just like they don't care. Unless they find it really annoying, they're not gonna say anything.
Right. And I do understand that, like, there is, I mean, I know there is a wanting to help too, like to help someone know perhaps what clothes look good on them or that sort of thing, right? So,
Yeah,
you know, and
there's
appropriate things, I guess, but it just some
yeah,
of it got a little over the line, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And there's actually a great uh I thought they were on just on TikTok, but I found out that they're on other social media. But there's I think they're out of the UK. I'm trying to think what it's called. Open open future learning, but what it is, it's and they do a lot of stuff with disability and person-centered thinking and a lot of it was like yes, you got it.
I hope it's getting better, right? Like I hope
Yeah.
things are improving and yeah.
I mean, I wrote a book without anyone having to tell me, well, it's a waste of time. You're not going to make any money. What's the point?
Right.
No one's going to read it. What's the point?
We're
And I
reading
mean,
it.
one of the I mean, and one of the really cool, and I mean, it has like I know so far it's changed one life at least. My I have a cousin on my uh, dad's side of the family who has a kid who has a genetic mutation as well. Just different than what I have, but
Yeah.
similar issues. And he's just I think he's just going into grade 12 this year. And I know after she read the book, the first thing she said was, I am not putting him in a day program.
Right. But I hope there are good ones out there too. And I hope they people read it and improve things, right? That improve the systems that are in place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and I realized too later that a lot of it is the systems
Yeah.
that and and the workers just get and the workers just get told what to do and they have to go
Yeah.
with it or they risk losing their jobs.
Right. Right. Got ya. All
I
right.
disagree with that.
Go ahead. Anyone else?
I said I disagree with that.
They shouldn't go along? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't if I saw that kind of crap going on. You know, I would have put a stop to it, not just let it go on because I was told to do something by my boss.
Good.
That's how we were, but
Yes.
not everybody is like us.
Yeah.
Right.
And we had
No.
the day program where
It was amazing.
It wasn't the kitchen and it wasn't paper. And I think and RaeAnne never got to go to that part of it, really.
She did.
Right?
She came and visited us
Yeah,
when she needed
but-
a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Or
there were
but,
some good ones, not to float our own boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
but I
wanted
mean,
to, sorry, RaeAnne, go.
but I was going to say too that Sally was the boss of the group home that I was in when I started,
Yeah.
and she's kind of there all along, right until towards the end. I think kind of all at the same time during the pandemic we went, yeah, we're not doing this.
Yeah. No, but I commend you for, you're right. We do need to, when we see the things that are not right, to stand up, even at the risk of our own.
And two, Ariel was not told to behave the way she did. So, like, it's the person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's the people. If you've got empathy, or if you don't think they need to be fixed, and they're just exactly perfect the way they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
Ariel. Ariel.
Amen,
Can I
sister.
just throw something in there?
Yeah, go Susan.
Okay, one of the, as you two probably know, is I have epilepsy and I've had it, and I haven't had a grand mal seizure for 25 years. Now, but that's where my problem is that people don't understand in general that when your brain has a condition of any kind, it affects your life every single day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And when you do, when how you function doesn't fit the norms that somebody thinks are normal, then that's when you run into problems. And another, as the first reading that you mentioned, Down syndrome. I have a 3-year-old niece with Down syndrome, and her dad and her mom are artists, and they are keeping her very active. And she's an active, busy little girl, and she wants to be a doctor. So if you can write a book, Anna Rose can be a doctor. Thank you for writing it, and thank you for doing this, because the brain conditions that are all around us need to be exposed for what they are.
Yeah.
And the
One,
problem that I have is that cancer, heart conditions, broken legs, they all have a place in society. They're okay. It's like they're the approved physical conditions. Brain is a different animal because it affects
One-
your physical condition.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you
Like,
for
Ariel has something affecting her brain, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
something wrong with Ariel.
I'm pretty sure
sorry.
I'm pretty sure her sister did too.
And
But any, just and also, like, one thing too is that during writing the book, like, there are some, like, there's some things that I realized, and that everyone has that, and that's why there's the message at the beginning of the book saying, like, please don't go at, like, if you figure out who these people are, please don't go after these people. Michelle,
Aw.
they wouldn't know why.
I know where they all live.
Well, my brother has a website for his little girl, and it's not for his little girl, but it's for the condition of Down syndrome in general, and it's called Don't Fear Me.
Oh,
It's because
But,
that's people fear people with these disabilities
yeah.
that are
um,
they begin in the brain.
And
But-
you're
but
different.
yeah, one
If
of
you're different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but anyways, I'll talk and then you. But one thing I realized too is that was just how broken and flawed everyone is. Everyone has their own shit going on, and some, and I mean, and without meaning to, we sometimes we inflict that pain onto others who weren't even involved. I mean, I found out a lot about family stuff that I didn't know about through writing this. The other thing I realized through writing this book is that is that I can have my own definition of normal. So what I can't find a suitable job. I mean, I still get comments from some older family members sometimes that oh well, why don't you have a job yet? I dealt with this last weekend when I was in Malville for my brother's wedding. I won't say in particular who it was who said it to me, but anyways, uh, but you know, to that I realized that you know that's yes, that's what society wants, but I don't have to. I I know I'm not able to. We tried this, and I mean, my parents, and then I know my parents brought it up too, because when after I worked at the Cornwall Center, I said, you know, I worked full time at Rail City, and I never had an issue. And my parents were like, "Oh, yes, you did." And I guess just stuff that I didn't really remember, but
Right.
and then also too, like being okay with getting stuff that makes my life easier. I mean, I can't reach in my washing machine. I have one of those grabbing things to grab the stuff at the bottom of my washing machine. I have an Alexa to remind me of things, and I have the smart light switches, because you know what, honestly, I would just sit in the dark. um and I even like my I got a pair of shoes that they're awesome. They open all the way up, so I don't have to shove my foot in there. I just can
Nice.
just place my foot in, and
Yeah.
they're Velcro. But like even with what clothes I get, like sometimes I look at these frilly dresses and I go, that's a sensory nightmare.
Uh-huh.
I I had
Yep.
I thought that a lot at my brother's wedding, and some of the dresses, especially the dress my niece wore, and I'm like, how are you comfortable? And she goes, I'm so itchy.
Oh,
So true. Oh, is there
I
anyone?
wonder, yeah,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
wonder if I could share something. First of all, RaeAnne, when you said you were writing a memoir, I was like, oh, good, someone else is doing it. And now that I've had a chance to read some of it, I just love what you've done. It's like, and I can say I know the author. So it's like, whoa. But I also, I appreciate hearing from your perspective some of the things that happened to you in the system. And anyone who doesn't fit the mold winds up having those kinds of experiences. My children are multiracial. The stories we could tell, I'm sure, actually mirror some of your things. They think they're dumb when they aren't. So it's those kinds of pieces. But finally, when you said, well, I can't keep a job, and then people ask me why I don't have a job. You do have a job. You're a writer, a published
Yes,
writer.
Yes.
The heck with
That
their
feels
stories.
so weird. and
And it's
and I am
wonderful. So what's
and
book two?
and I've been trying at least once a week. I mean 7:30 is a little bit, or sorry, 8 o'clock in the morning is still a little bit too much, Pam, but but I have been attending at least once a week, attending Pam's morning writing things, and just free writing, because you know what, that's what this started with. And like I said, there's stories in here that I had saved from years ago. I just went back and fixed them because I don't know who wrote the other ones, but they were very horribly written.
You writing all of those words taught you how to write a book there,
Oh,
Missy.
yes, yes.
I must say. All right, we still have some time left. Were there any other questions before I roll over people?
I just want to say a shout out to Amber. Hey, sweetheart, how are ya?
I'm doing
Hey,
well.
Amber.
Hello.
And I also want to say that RaeAnne is absolutely right when it was a power trip. There's actually a diagnosis called Queen Bee syndrome for women in power.
Yes.
So, and when they do get in power, it's all about them and how they think about them, right?
Yes.
So that's all I want to say. It's definitely a power trip and demeaning all the others. So I'm glad that you've got the two you've got now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I did want to ask one thing just about like some self-care. There's lots of people on the call, a couple people at least. I know some people on the call. I'm looking at you guys who are writers as well. And you know, there were parts of the book that were really hard and brought up things, emotional things for you, and you really had to face a lot of things about other people, about yourself, you know, and all that. And I just want to know if you had any tips for other writers for when you're dealing with emotionally difficult work and turning it into art, turning it into a story for other people. Do you have any tips of how you sort of took care of yourself? Because it's really important.
I I don't know. I know there's sometimes where I cried a lot. Sometimes where I cried a little. There's there's some parts where it took me longer to write because I kept having to take breaks. I know in Regina uh, we have Thrive Access or Thrive Rapid Access Counseling, and I know there's a couple of times I did that, and even just talking to my friends uh, and I to friends and talking to my parents about it and my brothers. I mean, when I realized, because I know when I wanted to write about, well, it's Uncle Charlie in the book, but I know when I want to write it, I'm like, I maybe have one or two like good things with him, but to be honest,
Yeah.
and then I mean, it was refreshing for my parents to go, oh no, it's not just you,
It's not just you. And I
uh,
also love that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I really love that you have the cat cafe. Like, I think going to just be like, I'm just going to go spend the afternoon with the cats, whether you are volunteering or not, I think was
yeah.
really helpful.
Well, and even like with finding work because I still think it's important um that like if you're in a situation where where you can't find work, like volunteer work's still very important. And I know it didn't really talk about it much in this book because it kind of took place. I was going to end the book a lot earlier than what I did, so I didn't really address. But I did, like after I went through Partners in Employment, I went through Neil Squire Society, and I found Neil Squire to be a little bit more suited to my needs for the most part. But uh, but I know like but even but but any time that I've went to join a program like that, the first one of the first things I've been asked is, do you do any volunteer work? And if you don't, we'll find something for you. And uh, yeah, I mean, I'm uh, and I mean, and I enjoy the cat cafe. I'm treated really well there, and I mean, I had my big book release there. But I did want to do something that was because I know there's people who are farther away, or when I am planning on doing another event in Regina. I just don't know when it's going to be yet. I want to do I want to do something in Melville first, but um, but yeah, back with volunteering at the Cat Cafe. I've also I mean, I've done other volunteer work where I wasn't I wasn't treated mean, but I was just especially after some past things came out that I wasn't treated very well. But I mean, like with the cat cafe, like they've been really good. And I know I'm gonna go do that tomorrow and then help at their yard sale. So I'm sure by the time I get home, I'm just gonna want to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Then
beautiful.
back Sunday.
Yes, we just passed the hour, so I don't want to keep people, but I do want to thank you, RaeAnne, for doing this and especially for doing it during Disability Pride Month. It's a really important story, and I do hope it goes far and wide and gets into the hands of people that need it personally, that we need it, and also for the system, like for people who are working and might open some eyes about certain things. Maybe we can hope that could happen and that change is happening, and that people, those of us who are a little different in the world and walk in the world in different ways, are more accepted for who we are, right? Who we
You
are
know,
as we are.
um, and one other thing that I realized, especially since I moved to Regina, and I know Krista, who I met through the Fat Badger recipes. Anyways, um, uh, but um, but that you know uh, that especially people like myself, we tend to that either don't fit in or whatever. We find each other in one way or another.
Right.
Right, Pam?
Right on. We do. All right. Well, thank you all again for being here. And thank you, darling RaeAnne, for writing this book for us all and for sharing it
Yeah,
with us tonight. All right. So take good
absolutely.
care.
Thank you,
Okay.
RaeAnne. Thank you,
Thanks,
And
Ben.
if
RaeAnne.
you're
That was really
writers, keep on
wonderful.
writing.
Thanks for coming.
All right. Goodbye,
It's been a
everybody.
blast.
Bye.
Okay.